Beautiful.
Hello, lovers of the world. This is Sinta speaking. I love collecting books. As much as I access the books that I consume through the library, there really is nothing that can beat the unimaginable thrill of finding, buying, and possessing a book that you love. On October 11, I visited several Auckland bookshops as part of a 3-day event called the Auckland Bookshop Tour with my friend Ray. This outing was kind of organized last minute, otherwise I probably would have properly vlogged my day with Ray. Originally, I just needed to pick up an online order at the open book, but given that we decided to visit other shops, I inevitably bought more books than I originally planned. So here is a very cool haul. Even though my bank account is sad at the lack of funds that I just blew in one day, I'm very happy with the new additions to my collection, except maybe for one mistake that I made, which I'll get to as I go through each purchase. I do have to note that even though I visited several Auckland bookshop, all of the books that I got, aside from the online order that I picked up, were bought from the Green Dolphin, which is my favorite bookshop in Auckland, mostly because it's the closest one to my usual daily routine route. It's very close to campus, and I really like their collection of crime fiction. Most of the stuff in my collection I actually got from there, and a lot of my favorite pieces from my collection that's where I got it from. So shout out to the Green Dolphin. It was kind of funny when I bought all of these because I was telling my friend Ray that I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm probably just gonna pick up my online order, and that's gonna satisfy my craving for a new book. And then I get to the Green Dolphin, and usually I visit that place pretty frequently, except I recently got a new job at a different location and I wasn't able to visit it as often. But the last time I visited them, they didn't have a big collection of authors that I wanted to purchase. So I had really low expectations of what I would find there. And then I got there on October 11, and then it was just like, what the heck? It was like somebody dropped off like a bulk order or something, and I kind of just lost my head. What I usually would have done, because I would visit that place frequently, is that I would pick up books incrementally over time, instead of what I just did where I bought all of them all at once, which is not good for the way I plan my budget, but such as such. I don't regret my big purchase, except for one book. Again, I'll get to that in a second. So I'll probably talk about the one book that I didn't get from the Green Dolphin, which is my original online order, and it is The Daughter of Time. So I got this from the Open Bookshop in Ponsonby, and I purchased this through their online website. I've been meaning to read Josephine Tey for a while, given that her name is so frequently dropped in the murder mystery, the golden age of detective novels community. I saw that they had this in stock and immediately bought it because I couldn't access the audiobook version through Libby, and so I kind of got this feeling that it's tricky to find. You know, Agatha Christie is always going to be, you're always going to find an Agatha Christie book at the bookstore firsthand, but I just got the feeling that this was not as common. So now, if I had known what it was gonna look like, I probably would have thought twice about whether I was gonna buy it right away, because I really hate this cover. So when I bought this on the website, it only showed you like the title and the author. There's no picture. I understand it's probably like too much work to individually take a picture of everything you have in stock. When I opened the package and this is what it looked like, I was like, oh, it's kind of ugly, but that's okay. I'm probably gonna use this as like an annotated version, and then if I find another copy with a prettier cover, that's kind of like that's gonna be my special edition. It's fine. I'm being nitpicky, but I am glad that I do have this, because now I can read this and can have it as a point of reference if I ever want to make a video about it or something. So yay. And then everything else I bought is from the Green Dolphin. A lot of it is actually from Niall Marsh. She is a New Zealand crime author. She's mostly better known for her plays, I believe. I've been trying to get into more detective fiction that isn't Agatha Christie. So it's funny that, do you ever feel like I only ever hear about the queens of crime? Like, who is writing detective fiction that is a man? Like, sorry. I feel like I'm not hearing as many. But I do appreciate that, you know, Josephine Tey, Agatha Christie, Niall Marsh, and I have some Dorothy L. Sayers books that I'll get to in a second. So there was a lot more Niall Marsh books at the store, but I decided to go off on the ranking of this booktuber I follow of his favorite Niall Marsh books, Summation Gathering, because even though our tastes aren't one-to-one, it's still kind of nice to have somebody to follow. So it helped a lot with choosing which to take and which to leave behind. This is actually not ranked very high, but I just couldn't resist because of the cover. This is like the style, like I was giving this book cover so much shit. This is the kind of illustrative style I like, that it's like multiple objects and you're kind of supposed to figure out like how they all fit into the story as you read, and it makes you curious about how they all fit in with each other because they're such a random collection of objects. So this is the kind of stuff that was just really irresistible. I'll read the back. Lady Bantling had a talent for outrageous parties, but she never dreamed her treasure hunt would end in the death of a famous lawyer. Inspector Allen probes the alibis of some elegant aristocrats for the hidden clue to a particularly deadly guest. Hopefully it is a decent read. Otherwise, if I don't like it, whatever. It's pretty. I like it. This is kind of the exact opposite of Hand in Glove. This is Death in a White Tie, and I've been told that this is one of the better ones that she's written. And then this is kind of ugly to me. Actually, it's so ugly that it circles back to being charming. Like this huge ass font. It's like trying to be this, but the font is just so bad, but it's so funny to me because it's like it's giving graphic design is my passion. Like the really thin cursive ones with the big bold marsh, like it's just so ugly that it's charming. It's very of its time, so I appreciate it. I'll read the back. No one is more popular on London's champagne and caviar circuit than charming Lord Gospel. However, on the morning after the year's most glittering ball, someone finds a reason to asphyxiate Bunchy Gospel in a taxi headed across town. Scotland Yard's Inspector Roderick Allen is called in to find out who killed his old friend and to cleverly unwind a tangle of murky secrets that began far from the ballroom floor. So that's that. And then we've got the next book, which is The Final Curtains. This one is a bit trickier because it's like a excerpt from the book. I think it's hard. I'm not really sure what this is about. Again, this is another book that was ranked quite high in the list. And I thought the cover is actually quite pretty. I like this painterly style. And again, it's like a collection of objects that you have to figure out how it all fits in together as you read the book further. So this is cute. And I love that all of the books so far kind of are very compact and cute. I actually really like paperbacks because of how little space they take up in my shelves, so that means I have more space to buy books. And then lastly, this is the biggest of the Niall Marshes that I got. This is another one that was ranked pretty high up, A Surfeit of Lampreys. And this is a really interesting cover because this series, you can see I think that's cute. I like that. I'll read the back. The Lampreys had plenty of charm, but no cash. They all knew they were peculiar and rather gloried in it. The double and triple charades, for instance, with which they would entertain their guests, like rich but awful Uncle Gabriel, who was always such a bore. The Lampreys thought if they jollied him up, he would bail them out yet again. Instead, Uncle Gabriel met a violent end, and Inspector Chief Allen had to work out which of them killed him. So this gruesome cover is crazy. I feel like a lot of detective fiction books I buy, they don't typically have super graphic scenes, but this one is really scary. Like I kind of don't want to look at it. So the guy is being impaled with a sharp object. It's kind of creepy, which I think like, impending doom. So it's good. You're like, ooh, who did that? And also why? And ew. And I like this because there's at the back it says the brilliant Niall Marsh ranks with Agatha Christie and Dorothy L. Sayers, which I think is a really good way to transition into the last two books that I bought. My dearest, my goat, my greatest of all time, Agatha Christie. So I've actually been really itching to get a copy of Peril at N House because after finishing Death on the Nile, I really wanted to make this video essay about Death on the Nile, Lord Edgeworth Dies, and Peril at N House. If you know, you know. Now, I don't love this cover. It's another instance of me buying it mostly for a utilitarian purpose because then at least I can annotate it. But I would really like to have another version that has like a prettier cover. Now, this is where I fudged up. I wasn't really a big fan of this cover. I think this is an okay cover. I mostly wanted a copy of this because this is one of those books that I really wanted to write a video essay about. I do have a spreadsheet that I use to keep track of all of the books in my inventory because I have a tendency to like literally forget if I already have a copy of this at home when I'm at the store. I made it so that I have something to refer to when I am deciding whether I needed to get another copy of this. I have been pretty slack with updating it recently, which is why I unfortunately didn't realize that I already had a copy of this, and I love my original copy. Like, I'm so annoyed at myself that I bought a second one. I'm annoyed at myself because this is a very preventable mistake if I was more on top of updating my inventory as I buy things. But I think it's just like when I bought this, because I really love this. Yeah, I don't think I even showed this in the YouTube channel. Anyway, so that's all of the books that I bought. Yippee! So now I'm gonna go put that in my bookshelf. I gotta figure out how to jam everything in. I hope you guys enjoyed my ramblings. Go support your local independent bookstore. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my work, you can subscribe. I post videos about music, books, and I guess about life as well. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the books that I've purchased. All my social media links are down in the description if you guys want to follow me there, including my Instagram account where I kind of post a little bit more about what I've been reading on my Instagram stories. If you guys want to support me financially, my Ko-fi and Patreon pages are down there as well. That'll be it. I will see you guys next week, hopefully. Bye.